And so as we look ahead in terms of where we are today and how you see the fractional model working and where it might be going or how you see it evolving, what are some of your predictions there?
Well, I only see the trend growing, at least for the foreseeable future. And, employment trends are changing and they have been for several years with remote work being a little more common, certainly more common than it used to. The need for data driven financial information coming from the office of the CFO with technology changing is only going to grow. So being able to leverage an outsourced model to get that expertise, not both in from the technical accounting side of it, as well as the systems and the platform side, I only see that growing. And then secondarily, um, it just seems to be a continued challenge to attract and incentivize top accounting professionals to stay within private industry. And that's for several reasons. I mean, I think that unless you're a rapidly growing organization, I think it really is tough to incentivize, a rock star accounting or finance professional. Whether it's they'll run out of challenges, maybe you get through the audit, great. That's awesome. What's your next challenge? Okay, I got to close quarter one. I got to close the next month. Um, if you're not, again, rapidly growing, acquiring, it may be tough to, again, incentivize and keep top talent around. Um, and it's tough to replace someone, the disruption that it brings when you're trying to find a replacement and just falling further behind in that scenario. That's a risk. And so I really think the effectiveness of the outsourcing model um, is substantial, and I think it's here to stay.
And you touched on as well the changes in the way that we work, more and more remote work. How has that factored into what you've seen in terms of fractional model?
I think business owners and executives are becoming more open to the model. I mean, we're 100% remote based, and a lot of outsourced firms are because of the nature of the operation and because of the trend of the workforce becoming more remote. It just opened up the willingness to consider an outsourced model. So I think people are open to it. More people now than previously are even considering it. Again, which just lends, I think, to the sustained growth of the outsourced accounting model.
Yeah, it's interesting that you just mentioned that because I think often about how the world of how we work has changed so much. And in so many ways, it's been for the better and had such positive impacts. But this is one area where I hadn't until just now, when you said that, really thought about how it's also that change in the way we work might have changed the openness and willingness to look at these different kinds of models like you're suggesting. When I think about what's the time and place for these models and at a certain point if the workload's enough, then often it makes sense to bring these roles in-house. But what are your thoughts in terms of when does a business potentially on their journey outgrow the need for an outsourced model, and would it make sense for them to bring those resources in-house?
I think if you're working with the right outsourced accounting partner, it really doesn't make sense to bring this function back in house. Again, because of the risk of turnover is great. And again, leveraging the expertise of the outsourced accounting firm and all that they bring to the table, you just don't have the luxury of having that in house.